Race 2 here at the Qatar Grand Prix in the Asia Talent Cup sees Mitani launch from pole ahead of Takahira and Singapong. Then it's Ramadhipa, Ogiwara and Kagami on road.
Than it was yesterday, a little bit earlier in the day, of course, a couple of hours earlier, so the sun beating down on the Lusail International Circuit. It's going to be a little bit greasier out there, so the riders have just got to watch out for that. We saw them do a couple of laps on the sighting laps, coming into pit lane and then going around again. What happens with the number 14 rider? There's a spot then free on the outside of the second row, which means Levi Russo has a clearer view down into turn. Riders, the lights now do come on, and they go out, and it looks like, again, a good start from pole position from Mitani. Again, look at the number 16 of Ogiwara. A fantastic launch from the middle of the second row. And before they've even got into the braking zone, down into turn one, Ogiwara looks like he's going to get the whole shot. Once again, just moves Mitani across to the outside. Nothing wrong with that, though. Exactly the same as...
Lights out from Saturday's race 1, because that is a carbon copy of what happened. Ogiwara, brilliant from the second row, but also for Farish. Yeah, he had a stunning race yesterday, and I have to give you credit. You called it before lights out that he would cause a problem for some of the more experienced riders, and he did stick it on P3. It's made his way into P3 at the expense of Farish Hafai.
Into the car park they go at turn 15. Not quite sure you're allowed to do that too many times, boys, so be careful. You can do it. Mitani, Slipstream City down the 1 kilometre long front straight. The first lap is complete here in the Asia Talent Cup. Ogiwara, though, getting a great launch out of the final corner, does hold it into turn 1. Mitani keeps P2 for now, but who is that going up the inside? It's Hafai on the number 19. A nice sweeping inside line from the Malaysian. Ogiwara again runs it wide into on the wide again. Not sure who it was on the first lap, but if it was the number 9 of Takahira, then he's got 2 warnings already for track limit.
Get ahead of Zen Mitani here. It looks like they're going to be late on the brakes than the Japanese number 9, and it is once again Ogiwara leading across the line. It's not often we see that on this type of machinery where slipstream plays a huge effect. We see
2 minute 10.3. There he is on the number 19 machine. Yellow helmet up the inside of Ogiwara. Brakes late, and he is going to dive bomb down into turn 1. Is he going to get it stopped, hooked up on the apex? Yes, he is. So the Malaysian Hafai takes the lead for the first time in 2024. And in race 2, we have a change of the lead for the first time. Ogiwara demoted to P2.
Yeah, fascinating right there. It's Hafai who wins out ahead of Ogiwara. We saw Ramadhipa then run the wider left line, but it didn't quite pay off for him, with Richie Takahira maintaining a more central line as he loses a position now to Ramadhipa, and that is P4 gone the way of the Thai rider, or the Indonesian rider, excuse me, with the Japanese rider dropping back to P5 as Takahira looks to bite back on the number 7, but he just can't quite get it to complete another lap, or we'll see how they did in Sector 4. But it's Ogiwara and Mitani now who look like they might just want to bolt a little bit, but the number 19 of Farish Hafai dives up the inside. Look at the slipstream come into play there. Brilliant from the Malaysian rider, as Ramadhipa then takes the inside line as well. Let's see.
Big crash down at turn 1.
Hafai and Ogiwara are gone.
Hafai down, tagged Ogiwara with him of this circuit. Let's get a replay then, Chris. Ogiwara, of course, on the outside, the number 16. Hafai
just cuts the nose off him.
Yeah, Ogiwara, of course, trying to dive across and make the apex, thinking it's all clear. Hafai a bit later on the brakes, and the two just come together, and unfortunately down the road they go. Yeah, difficult one to...
I don't think that's hard enough to avoid collision there. But back out front then, it is Richie Takahira who has profited the most from that, as Ramadhipa moves into second place and Zen Mitani in third. But Takahira, where are you going? You're gone very wide there, and it's cost him the lead to Ramadhipa.
Yeah, that's 3 times now. Takahira at the same corner down at turn 15 was not just run. There's running wide, and there's running as wide as Takahira is going, unfortunately, at this time. So I think in a few moments' time, we're going to have a warning coming up for Takahira.
Mitani taking the maximum yesterday. He's riding in podium positions here inside the top 4 and set for another big podium, points haul.
Yeah, unfortunately, Takahira goes wide again. I'm not sure what's going on down there at turn 15 as he nearly tags the back of Mitani going into the break.
Could throw a blanket over the front 4 here. Ramadhipa currently holds the lead. He's trying to build up a little bit of an advantage out front. I think it's on about just over 0.2 of a second. But as we've seen so far, that probably will not last, particularly coming down the front straight, which we will see with the slipstream coming in.
At this moment in time in the race on the number 2. But it is now 5 5 laps to go in race 2 here in Qatar. The last 5 laps before a long break across the summer before we head to India. As Matani then, is he going to go for 2 for 1 at the first corner? Yes, he is. Is he going to hold it? He's going to run a little bit wide, but he is going to hold it. Matani, a great move down at turn 1.
Yeah, you could see that coming, the double slipstream coming into play there.
He's picking up 2 second places, only 10 points away, but going to predict that might change a little bit in the last 5 laps. A crucial part of the race coming up, Chris. Matani hits the front, and as you say, he'll be comfortable and confident that maybe he can break clear. But as I say that, Takahiro dives up the inside, and then the number 7 of Ramadhipa dives up the inside at turn 12. That's a fast place to pick a move, but he's done it expertly. And just like that, we were saying Matani might want to be breaking clear. And
this time, but let's see if Takahiro can park a move up the inside of the Indonesian as Matani takes a wider line. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. No, Matani is too far away, but it is Takahiro who takes the advantage now.
But this is another fascinating fight. This is, though, where we're going to focus our attention. It's still Ramadhipa leading the way on the number 7. As I say, a new Indonesian rookie in this class, and he's looking good, isn't he, Chris?
I tell you what, just the second race is this? Well, first year as a full-time rider. He had a few appearances last year, but he's looking very much at home as he sticks it up the inside of Richie Takahiro.
Yeah, nice little slow-mo shot down. Takahiro pulls up alongside Ramadhipa, coming up into the braking zone, down into turn 1. Who's last of the late breakers? It looks like it's just going to be Takahiro, who shoves it at the inside of the number 7 and takes the lead.
Yeah, wash, clean, rinse, repeat for Takahiro. I think that's the 3rd time in a row he's got in behind Ramadhipa coming over the line.
He just tried to carry, as I say, too much speed down into turn 15 once again. Runs wide, but he does hold the lead, and with 2 laps to go, it is Takahiro leading the way.
Yeah, let's see how slipstream comes into effect here. Takahiro Ramadhipa's gone ahead out in the wide left. Matani and Singapong took a different line, but they still slot into 3rd and 4th position. This time it's Ramadhipa who comes out ahead of Takahiro in turn 1 with just under 2 laps to go. So I have to say, Zen Matani sitting in 3rd position, he's almost been suspiciously quiet, Elliot. I'm just waiting for him.
He has been suspiciously quiet. I couldn't have put it better myself, Chris, on the number 2 machine. Just watching the 2 out front, Ramadhipa and Takahiro take chunks out of each other as Takahiro dives at the inside down at turn 5 at the top of the circuit. This is down into turn 6, a popular passing manoeuvre here at the sharp left-hand hairpin. But Matani, yeah, keeping his cards close to his chest. Laps to go, the gloves are off now. This is where it really matters. The riders are all going to be wanting to get to the front, and if they've got anything in hand, as Matani dives up into P2 from 3rd.
Yeah, we just mentioned it. Now it looks like the young Japanese rider is making a move, but here comes Ramadhipa back up the inside. Youngest rider on the grid, just 14 years old, Elias. He's showing plenty of urgency and, well, lots of racecraft beyond his years.
Here leading the way onto the final lap from Ramadhipa in the slipstream, pulling up to the inside. Matani in 3rd, Singapong in 4th. Any one of these 4 riders can win. It's 4 abreast down into turn 1 on the final lap. Takahiro on the inside. Matani, is he going to lead into the final corner? I think he is. That's a very close between the 2 Japanese who are down in turn 1. Matani hangs it around the outside though.
Brilliant move to get ahead of Matani. And now, will the Japanese winner from yesterday have anything up his sleeve to come back? Well, he's going to try fire around the outside here. Is he going to make that stick? If he does, that's brilliant.
That's close.
But that's going to play into the hands of Ramadhipa, who fires up the inside now, 3 abreast, and it's Ramadhipa who's come out best from there.
Oh, Matani hangs it up the inside of Takahiro at turn 12. That's a fantastic move. They forgot about Ramadhipa concentrating on themselves, and Ramadhipa said, thank you very much, I'm coming through to take the race lead. A couple of corners left, they fling it through turn 14. This is turn 15, the penultimate corner. Takahiro lunging up the inside of Matani. That's close, but not close enough. So then, 1 final corner to go. Who ran wide there? I think Matani was on the red paint. We'll have to see at the end of the race, but coming into the final corner then, Matani hangs it at the inside. Can't quite do it. Ramadhipa then, is he going to win his first race in the Asia Talent Cup? It's all about getting a good run out of the final corner, trying to weave out of the slipstream. Is it going to be Ramadhipa? It is! Ramadhipa wins on the number 7 for Indonesia here in Lusail. What a race from the top 4. What a race from the rookie. A fine way to...
Which is quite a few months away, but still important. But it's all about the number 7 from Indonesia once again in the Asia Talent Cup. This time it's not Veda Pratama, it's Kiandra Ramadhipa. What a stunning win. His maiden podium, his maiden victory in the
Worried about Veda Pratama going on to pastures new in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, but we have a new number 7 from Indonesia to talk about. This was Takahiro and Mitani getting very close. A great move, it has to be said, from Takahiro down at turn 12. This was the run out of the final corner. Ramadhipa getting his head down behind the bubble, just about hanging on to P1. As we said earlier, Chris, if the finish line was back to where it was a couple of years ago, it might have been a different result, but it's not, and the riders knew that. What a win.
I tell you what, he was out of the seat before you. The number 7 from Indonesia missed out on the podium yesterday by just 100th of a second. Very, very little in it, as Ikegami pipped him to P3. No mistakes this time around. No one's going to pip him this time.
Didn't we, Chris? Not necessarily the riders who were quickest and had superior pace in race 1 can carry that over into race 2. It's strange how these things work. Mitani 7 seconds clear of the chasing pack yesterday, couldn't quite manage the victory today. Ramadhipa, congratulations, you are a race winner in the Asia Talent Cup. 4 tenths splitting the top 4. That's exactly how we like it.
Yeah, another
to get back on these machines, but for the riders who have stood on the podium a couple of times and won races like Ramadhipa and Mitani, Takahiro, of course. Singapore, unfortunately, just missing out again. It feels harsh that you finished 4th.
Final results: Kiandra Ramadhipa from Indonesia is your race winner, with Zen Mitani and Richie Takahiro on the final podium from the weekend in the Asia Talent Cup take their place. Richie Takahiro followed by Zen Mitani, but your race winner from Indonesia, Kiandra Ramadhipa. Not for the first time, and certainly not for the last time we're going to hear Indonesian Raja play out across a motorcycle.
It's not 2 race winners trophy, because the second one of the weekend goes to the young Indonesian Ramadhipa. What a race from the number 7, as we do get set now for the race winners national anthem.
Winning rider, the national anthem of Indonesia.
Ramadhipa singing his heart out on the podium there. That is exactly what we love to see. The passion, of course, for winning a race and singing the national anthem. Fantastic from the young Indonesian. Pose for a photo, and then, as I say, they will go back to the drawing boards, debrief the race, and then eagerly wait, I'm sure. It's a painful wait for us, but it's going to be even more painful for these riders to